You look in the mirror, you don't like what you see. You don't like who you are. Nobody knows it, but that's how you feel. Have you ever felt this way? Well, get ready for an honest and profound journey to wholeness in the highly anticipated book, Debut by and from author Ramona J. Ragland. The book is entitled Ugly, and we're going to get right into it right after this intro.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. And this segment is brought to you by the 5th annual Pop-Up Conference for Female Entrepreneurs taking place in Richmond, Virginia, November 5th, 6th, and 7th. Guess what? That's my signature conference. And I'm inviting you. Jump over to heygirlhey.biz to register today. And yes, we will be live in social distancing. So I am super excited that you all are joining and tuning in today. I know that those of us that are here live, the multi-streaming platforms are notifying you guys, sending out notifications saying, hey, we are here, we are live. And I am excited to be featuring an author. And you guys know that I love author spotlights. And so I'm excited because my guest is hanging out in the virtual studio and she's going to be coming up momentarily. Go ahead and share this out. Thank you to all those that are coming on in. Thank you, Carla R. Jenkins, who just reshared this on Twitter. We appreciate you. Those that are listening in from Facebook and iTunes, hey, Periscope, pump and give me some hearts. And certainly all of our broadcast stations, iTunes, Stitcher, all of the podcast stations, we thank you for listening and being a part of this because you know the goal of this show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And I'm going to do just that. All right, so let me share a little bit about our guest that is hanging out with us. Ready to come up to the mic to share with you today. Ramona Ragland is a Richmond, Virginia native. So she's an East Coast girl. Family is a priority to her. She comes from a large family, so they mean the world to her. She's a graduate of Virginia Commonwealth University. That's my alma mater as well. She has a bachelor's degree in business management, and she has been a professional in corporate America for almost 20 years. Let me tell you, she doesn't look like it. Serving as a trainer, content creator, mentor, auditor, among other things. Ramona is also a licensed minister with many years of involvement in the church and just really being so impactful in a lot of different ways in ministry. Last year, she started her own business as a writer for others, and she's a certified master trainer and is currently pursuing her 6 Sigma Green Belt certification. And we are adding author to her title and credentials. I know you guys are excited. Welcome to all those that are coming in and joining us, coming up to the mic right now. Ramona, thank you for being here. Hey girl, hey.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing well. We are excited to have you. Shout out a few people that are listening in and joining us. Hey, Coach Andrea, thank you so much. Hey, mommy, that's my mom listening in and watching it. So glad to have you. So let's jump in, Ramona. Talk to us and tell us a little bit about what you do in corporate America and kind of what you do in the daytime. We know in the evening time you put on your Superwoman writer cap.
Sure. In my current role, I serve short version as a trainer. I also do process improvement stuff as well. So that's the short version of what I do. I also do some mentoring at work. So I have a couple of people that I mentor as well. Awesome. So that's the short version.
That's the short version. Okay, well, we'll take the short version today.
I might bore you with the long version.
And so when did you know you had a knack for writing? When did you fall in love with writing?
I've loved writing since I was a kid, actually. Writing was a way for me to express myself. It was a way for me to decipher things that I was feeling. It was a way for me to get things out. And it was really a way, if I didn't feel like I had anything that I could say to anybody, for me to still have a safe space. I love words. I love writing. So really, since I was a kid, and I have an interesting journey with writing. As I got older, I actually stopped writing. Like, I used to write songs and poems and things.
Wow.
And I stopped writing for years. I actually am still trying to get back to that type of writing. And so that's a whole different thing. And I think a lot of other writers can relate. There's an honesty that happens when pen touches paper.
Yeah.
And you really have to be open to whatever comes out when you allow yourself to be free to the expression. You can be like, hold on a sec, I wasn't ready.
No, that's not the direction I want to go in. Well, I never heard it put that way, but I think that is so profound. I definitely hear authors and writers say that writing is therapeutic, or sometimes they will look back, something that they've written, they will look back, months later and years later, and like, wow, I wrote that, and it turns around and starts speaking back to them.
That's so well said. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. And so the songs and the poetry, tell me, so what kinds of, when you were in that space of writing songs and poetry, what was the vibe and the feel?
Probably, I would say, and it sounds really terrible, so, don't judge it, everyone. And I think this is true if we look at the types of music that seems to touch us the most. Really, some of the saddest and darkest stuff seems to be the most profound and powerful to me. And not because you want to be connected to something that's not pleasant, but just there's a rawness about that sort of state. And there's a blatant honesty that I'm not sure that we always get when we're doing well.
Yeah.
If you think about people love Mary J. Blige, people love Keisha Cole, and it's not necessarily because of the vocal aesthetics all the time, but you know why? Because people relate to, my heart was broken, and there's something about feeling like you're not alone. And so I think when there's that sort of expression, I think it does something for people. So a lot of my writing was like that. Love is something I think that everyone writes about in some capacity, because we're created to give and receive love. So I think that's a huge piece as well. But I know that for sure, when I get back to that writing, the vibe will be much, much different. It'll have all of life's elements, but I also know that there will be a maturity that underlines it.
Oh, that's well said. Well said. Shout out to my pastor, Bishop Joel Brown. He's hanging out over on Periscope. He said, when pen touches paper. Yes. Love that. And so this book, Ugly, the title is called, and no one wants to be called ugly. No one wants to be thought of as ugly. Nobody, ugly is not anything we want to be associated with, but yet your debut book, is ugly. And so talk to us about how you even picked the title.
So it's an interesting thing, honestly. I had no idea that I was writing a book this year. I had no plans on it. I knew that I was going to, at some point in my life, write a book. It has been spoken over me for years on years on years. And I knew one day it would come. I just had no idea that I was going to write it. I had a scenario where I just kind of felt like trash on the inside. And I kept hearing this word, ugly. And I just, okay. And I kept hearing it. And I said, okay, Lord, I don't know what this is, but I felt like it was related to a book, but I wasn't entirely sure. And then one day the Lord said, I want you to start writing. And I did. I started writing, and that ended up becoming the book. Emotionally, though, it came from a place of, when you go through a lot, back to back to back, sometimes you don't have the opportunity to process. And sometimes you don't understand the scarring, and sometimes you don't understand the bleeding that it causes until one day you just happen to see it sometimes. And sometimes when you see the effects of life, that, I had a moment like that and just felt like I'm ugly. And not physically. I can put on a good brown lip, honey,
Yes. A good compliment.
Okay. So it wasn't anything like that internally, and it really refers to an honesty about yourself, not a condemnation. So there is a difference. It's about the openness to, do you see all of you, or do you think you're awesome all the time? Because we all have things on the inside of us that we really need to learn how to face. And so the book is about vulnerability, and it's about a process of healing.
A process of healing. I think that's so good, because if we do think all the time, well, I'm awesome, I'm all that in a bag of chips, there's no filter, there's no buffer, there's no checkpoint, there isn't anything to kind of check us until we have those moments where we kind of internally look and say, ooh, all of this is not this. Yeah. And so was there a one situation, or was it just a combination of things that had you have this kind of internal introspection?
With this specific moment, there was a specific situation. And it's not that I've never had these moments before, but something was different about this one. And honestly, that moment was what triggered, I would say, the space that allowed the Lord to speak to me to write this book.
Got it. Well, so then you needed to have that moment for this book to be birthed. And so who do you think that society and media and social media have played a role in either us ignoring the internal stuff that may be ugly, or, what are your thoughts around kind of media and all of that?
Oh, this is a loaded question.
Listen, I gotta, while you're thinking about your response, I gotta shout out Chief Apostle Olive C. Brown is here. You brought out some heavy hitters in the kingdom. She said transparency to process the transformation and healing. Wow, I can't wait to read the book. Thank you, Chief Apostle Olive Brown, who is tuned in. Yes, and Bishop Joel, gotta love yourself ugly, the process of healing. Thank you for being here. So yes, society, social media, any of that playing a role in any of this?
Yes. I think this is a complex issue. I think that we have a couple of different facets of this. I think when you think about media and things, I think there's the component that says you're never good enough. I think there's that pocket. I think there's the pocket where we are entirely, listen, I am for therapy. I'm for acknowledging your emotions. I'm for expressing them. I'm for communicating. However, I do believe that between social media and society, we have created this space of being ultra sensitive and entitled without having to take responsibility for our lives. You read every new year, right? I'm cutting this one off. You can see it in memes all the time. Well, if someone doesn't, they're just not for me, and I'm cutting them off. And I think there are legitimate issues or instances, right? But we very much have created this kind of, it's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
I'm always the victim. There's nothing ever. I mean, I'm great. And I know I have issues, but I'm good. And because I'm good, there's something wrong with everyone else. There's very much room for the victim. And when I say victim, I'm not talking about people who've legitimately been victimized. I'm talking about the mentality where we never own anything that should belong to us. And so I don't think we're in society encouraged to own ourselves. It's very, I think, very extreme, right? It's either condemn yourself and beat yourself up and like you're horrible and you're trash, to think you're perfect and everyone else has fault except you. And I think we really need to be honest with ourselves that neither is true. And that we're all works in progress. All of us. You could think of the most amazing person in the world, and I can tell you they have dirt that is probably embarrassing and probably destructive and toxic. But
absolutely,
that's life, right? We're all we are a process.
Yes, we are all under construction. We are
Yes.
all under construction. Hey, Sherry, thank you for joining. Hey, Sean. Yes, yes, yes. And Sherry is commenting ultra sensitive and entitled. Woo, that's a statement. That's a statement right there. Hello, Elmira. Thank you. Hey, thanks for being
Hi,
here.
y'all.
Yay. Thank you all. If you're just tuning in and you're just popping in, this is the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. We're chatting up here with Ramona Ragland, author, upcoming book called Ugly.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So so listen, let's show them. When can people get a hold of it?
So this will be out August 28th. Here's the back. Really excited.
Yeah.
And I've not really shared the story about why it's August 28th, but it's related to the
Can we get
scripture.
the deets for that? Like late breaking, hot off the press?
This is exclusive, y'all. I've not publicly shared this. Okay.
Y'all type hashtag exclusive wherever you.
That's it. Only on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. They got it
Yes.
first.
Michelle, I see you, Michelle, over in that. She said absolutely a work in progress. Absolutely.
Yes. So I chose 8:28 because it is relative to Romans 8:28, which said, and we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. And I'll just say this really quickly, if it's okay, is a lot of times, we see all these successes, and I think it's great that we celebrate each other's wins. However, what I don't think we understand is the cost of fulfilling what you're supposed to do. I don't think we understand the cost. And typically the most powerful and impactful stuff, we think, oh, great, you did something great, or, you launched this and you did that. But typically there is a cost associated with it. And so this is a result, though, that all things work together for the good of those that love him and are called according to his purpose. This is a result. And if you when you read this, you'll learn some of what that means. Is this was not born from a, hey, I think I'm going to write and I'm awesome and, feeling real jazzy. No, it's not what it is. No, there were a lot of tears.
Yeah.
So.
Wonderful. And Stephanie is saying she's waiting to get the autographed copy. So congratulations is coming out to you there. And listeners and viewers, you can jump over to her website, RamonaJosette.com. Josette is your middle name?
Josette, yes, and it's my middle name. Yep.
Okay, RamonaJosette.com. And I'm excited because she's a part of the Mitchell Productions web design family.
Yes.
So the site is gorgeous, if I say so myself.
Good work, ma'am. Okay, just saying.
Myself. Listen, this is a good spot to take a quick commercial break. Welcome to all those that are popping on in and coming on in. You are checking out the Sharvette Mitchell radio show with our amazing new author, Ramona Ragland. We're going to let you hang out in the virtual room, enjoy some virtual snacks, and then we're going to come back, bring her back up to the stage, bring her back up to the mic to have a little bit more discussion around her new book called Ugly. Welcome to all those that are here. Don't move. We're going to be right back. Hey girl, hey, welcome. Hey, listen, I'm still jamming to that music. Y'all like that? Dun, dun, Okay, I'm gonna stop. But I'm so excited because this segment is brought to you by the 5th annual Pop-Up Conference for Female Entrepreneurs. This is my signature conference. I'm hosting it live in Richmond, Virginia, November 5th, 6th, and 7th. VIP is already sold out. Listen, we can social distance. I had conversations with my lawyer. I had conversations with the hotel. We are all good to go. We got a ballroom that's double the space that we need. We can take 80 of you guys. We already have a little under half of the tickets sold. We're November 5th, 6th, and 7th. Come be with me in Richmond, Virginia. Jump over to heygirlhey.biz, heygirlhey.biz, and be with me at my 5th annual conference. All right. Great. Glad to see all of you that are popping on in. Yes. Thanks, Beth. Exclusive Romans 8:28. Shout out to my sister Kim. Hey, Kim, hanging out with us over on Periscope. All right. So let's jump right back in it. Bringing back up to the mic, Ramona. All right. So who is the perfect reader for this book? Is it women? Is it men? Is it teens? Who is it? Who do you want to read this book?
Everybody, really. I do specifically call out, typically when women write books, I think women have we obviously gravitate towards that, but I actually call this out specifically in the book, that this is not just a book for women. It is a book for men. And to be quite honest, I'm very passionate about the healing of men. Yeah. And I would love for men to read it. I think teenagers can read it. Teenagers just may not have full experience, but I can take that back because they're grown these days. So
yeah.
Okay. I think anybody can read that. There's nothing inappropriate, but I certainly, women and men both can read this. There's nothing that's super feminine about the book or super masculine. No, it's written in a pretty unbiased way with regards to the sexes.
All right. Awesome. A shout out to Robin, who said good evening from Jamaica. So listen, you have to be international, Ramona. You have to be international over here. Thanks, Robin, hanging out with us from Jamaica. And so did you have any moments, because you hold the book up one more time. You've got the proof there. Did you have any moments when you went through the proof and you're like, did I write that? Am I doing this? And did you have any of those moments?
Yeah, I still do. I feel like it's crazy because I have these small moments. And, the thing is, life doesn't stop so you can enjoy moments. You have to create those moments to stop and enjoy them. So I found that there have also been moments where I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't stopped to let this sink in. I don't think it's fully processed even now, even though I've physically been able to touch it.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. I just had no idea this was happening this year. And I still really don't know what to say. As you can tell, I'm still processing it. Yeah. Right. I'm still processing it. This is something for years has been spoken over me as a writer. And I mean decades has been spoken over me. And I'll just plug this real quick, just in case somebody needs a little word of encouragement. Yeah. If you know something is coming and somebody has said something to you, listen, this has easily been 20, 30 years. I'm almost 40. Not quite. Okay. So don't get it twisted, but
right. 40 is the new 30. So
hello. Okay, my 40s are going to be my best, honey. However, this is my first one.
Yeah.
So just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't happen. It can still happen. And you also have to be willing to put in the work for the promise.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A little sermon that I can get into now.
Save that work instead. And so, you did this all on your own. And do you see this kind of spinning off going into other things? Yeah. Where can we purchase? Robin, who's from Jamaica, is like, where can we purchase it?
It'll be available on my website.
What's the date and when? And we got the website address here. What's the date it's going to be released again?
August 28th, 8/28.
8/28. Romans 8:28. You can remember that. There you go. It's coming. So, and I'm sorry, I saw that and I got distracted of what we were saying.
Lord, what were we talking about?
Well,
I know we were
listen,
talking about.
I have another
Okay,
question.
do that.
In the book, you make a really great point of when we look at the ugly things, maybe internal. This is an internal, not looking at calling anyone else ugly or any, but internal. When we kind of work on those ugly things, polish. I like the word you use, polish the beauty for that to shine through. Talk a little bit about that, what that polishing may be and how that kind of works.
Sure. There are two things that I think of. One is I think of sandpaper. You know, if you think about the friction that has to happen, the abrasion in order to get, you know, whatever you're sanding to get it smooth, there has to be that process of roughing it up. And then I also think about the excavation of a thing, right? I don't know if anyone's ever had a root canal. I have, not a blast. Right? So that's a form of excavating something out of a tooth and getting what's harmful out. It hurts and it's not fun, but you can't be well until you identify what's wrong. You can't. And so what you do is you take that thing and you make it work for your good. So if I find that I'm not a patient person and that's a really unattractive quality about myself, I now know that I need to work on that. And in those moments where I want to maybe pop off, I have to stop and I have to, okay, this, let me let this
in the face today.
Hello. Okay. You have to let that thing kind of polish the patience in you and let that work for you.
That's good. That's good. Polish the beauty. This is a process. Michelle is saying absolutely over in coaching with Vet. If you're not in the group with us, come on. Ramona is a community member as well. So we got a lot of love all across the interwebs, the internet. You have to put in the work for the promise. Again, Robin from Jamaica. Thank you, Miss Coward. She said, I can't wait to purchase the book. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. All right. And so listen, I'm just talking. Okay, we got a few more minutes. So I remember what we were originally talking about. So do you see this book spinning off to other things, either other books or something else birthing because of this?
Yes.
Okay.
There's already book number 2.
Oh, wow.
I already know what it's going to be about. I've jotted down some things for it. I'm trying to push out book 1 first, and then I'll be able to spend more time on book 2, but it is going to birth another book. I'm going to start a podcast with the same concept. Yeah. Eventually, maybe, an event around this sort of thing and some sort of coaching or mentorship, I think, also around this. I think we really have issues with vulnerability, and not that I'm the expert, so I'm not here to tell you that. However, I have lived a lot and have a lot of personal experience. Yeah. And I think, and it's not because I'm so awesome, but what God has given me and allowed me to walk through will help serve other people very well, I think. Yes. So yeah, there's lots to come through this.
Your experience is the expertise. Chief Apostle Olive Brown is putting it in for us. This is how you're going to remember the launch date, Romans 8:28.
Thank you, Apostle.
That's when the book is coming and going to be available to us. And so what's on the immediate horizon? Do you have any? I know we're in COVID, so you probably would have had a book launch or anything. You doing anything virtual to celebrate?
I decided on this one, no, I'm not going to do anything. Now, what I might do is something like a Q&A on my Facebook page or, something to say, hey guys, it's out, to engage with people. Other than that, I thought a lot of people asked about a book release, but again, because of COVID and people's safety, I just don't feel like now's the time. But book 2, I believe I'll be able to do that. So I think I'm going to keep it really simple with regards to that, and then start working on book 2 and building social media and streamlining business and
and all the things,
Sharvette.
Tell the listeners and the viewers how they can follow you on social media and how they can connect with you.
Yes. So you can find me on both Facebook and Instagram with the same handle, Ramona, RAMONA.Josette, JOSETTE. Very similar to my website, just a dot in the middle of the 2 names. And those are my handles. You can use both for those 2 social media sites. So please come find me. Let me know that you saw this.
Yes.
And we'll brag about Sharvette together because this was great.
Thank you, thank you. And so are you doing any videos? Are you doing any like live? So you said you're going to do this kind of maybe the book book question and answer. Are you going to do that like on video?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last
Are you
part.
going to do that on video? Is that something that you think people will experience on video? Okay.
I think I'm going to do that live. Live is not really my deal. However, I think I'm going to do that.
But here we are.
I know. Here we are. But I think I'm going to do something live for that. And, I'll record some videos leading up to that as well. But yeah, I'm just excited. I really want people to get their hands on it. And I think it's really going to be a blessing. It's really, really good. And not because I wrote it, really the Lord just kind of poured it through me. It's pretty profound and I'm excited about it.
Poured it through. And you are a speaker as well. So people can, if people are having events and things of that nature, what are, and we know you can kind of talk about this vulnerability piece. Are there other things that you speak about that people can, have you come to their events?
Yes, I'm very passionate about people development in general, professional development. Oh, thanks. People development, professional development. What else? I love talking about helping people discover their worth.
Yeah.
And kind of identifying, even if you say that you think you're worthy, does your life actually show your belief? Does that reflect? I'm a girl who sees the root of a thing. So I have a very special eye for those sorts of things. Not to sound super deep, but deliverance also is something that I will participate in as well. I love to pray. I'm a singer and worship leader as well. So I do a little bit of everything.
You do a little. Well, we love that. Last question for you. The goal of my show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know what continues to motivate Ramona.
The future and doing what I know is for the future. Part of what helps me, I'm not going to lie, the process of getting the book out, it's frustrating. You have to be patient. There are lots of moving parts. It's a lot. And it's really required a lot of me. But when you think about the bigger picture, the vision is what's important. The hard moments that are really difficult in life in general is God trusts me to do something different. And he trusts me to break things that have previously been there. And he trusts me to do something new. He trusts me to establish something new and something great in his name. And so I just feel like that's a worthy cause to remember, is the generation and who's coming after me and who's looking to me to complete my mission.
And it's hanging on you. That's the motivation. Well said. Well, we're going to keep our eye on you. And congratulations.
Thank you, Sharvette.
28th. You are welcome. Ugly.
Yeah.
The debut release. All right. Thank you for stopping by the show.
Thank y'all so much.
Pick it up. Awesome. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us and being with us here on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Again, this segment was brought to you by the 5th Annual Pop-Up Conference for Female Entrepreneurs, taking place in the capital city of Richmond, Virginia at 4 Points Sheraton out by the airport, November 5th, 6th, and 7th. You can jump over to heygirlhey.biz and reserve your ticket. We will be social distance. We have breakout sessions this year. We're at a different location. Those have been with us the last 4 years. We've been at one location. This location has almost triple the space. And so we are planning amazing things for you November 5th, 6th, and 7th. 4 Points by Sheraton in Richmond, Virginia. Go register, grab your ticket, heygirlhey.biz. That's where you want to go. I'm Sharvette Mitchell. I work with female entrepreneurs and a few lucky men to help them build their online platforms so that they generate more revenue with an amazing online brand. And one of the ways I do that is with this amazing show. Thanks for all of those that popped in. Hey, Dr. Jackie. She's saying excited for you. Yes. Thank you, Bishop. Awesome. Yes. We're excited. So I'm going to get out of your way and we're going to see you guys later on the web. Thanks again to all of those that listen to this in iTunes and Stitcher and Spreaker, and you might be listening from an Alexa device. I'm Sharvette. I'll see you guys later.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.